looks like you own my life. You never made any sacrifice. Demons there on my trail. I'm standing at the crossroads of hell. I look to the left, I look to the right. Hands that grab me on every side.
This is sucky. Are those guys gonna dance or no?
That is mine. Think money rules when all else fails.
This is so bad.
I'm trying to protect what I keep inside.
Jason, is it broken?
No, dude, it just sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
I say the devil, you're walking mad. You fool your life, conjuring a thief. Try to tell you what you want.
Where's the bird? Right up the top.
Yeah, there we go. This suspense is killing me.
Ready, here we go. Ready?
Ready. This sucks! Oh, I saw it! Oh, come on! That was it! Yeah, that's it. And you let me hold my hand.
Then you run, you run. Then you run, you run. Then you run, you
Wait, I want to make a question.
I'm taking video right now. Alright, touch its mirror. I think that's if you want to come back. Touch its hands for lots of babies. And you have and touch its feet for lots of love. Yeah, that's. Oh, wait. The feet's lots of babies. And the hands lots of love. I'm not really sure.
There's 1,000 things I want to say to you, but whenever I approach you, you make me look a fool. I want to say, I want to tell you about the young ideas, about your time there made a face. In our city there's 1,000 faces are shining bright, and it's golden faces on the 25. They wanna say, they're gonna tell ya about the young idea. You better listen now, you said you better.
Let's get old Allison. Eating an ice cream cone. Hey, Andy, why do we have goalies?
She flies off the field.
That's right.
Oh, except for my brother.
Golden brown, texture like sun, lays me down. With my mind she runs throughout the night. No need to fight, never a frown. With golden brown, every time just like the last. On her ship, tied to the mast, to distant lands, takes both my hands, never a frown. With golden brown.
Walking down the streets in St. Galois party, and we can see the castle that Napoleon moved in, took over, and now stands as a beautiful hotel right up there. Yeah. I think I know that you mean you're really enjoying your Contiki experience and the balance that you've actually acquired throughout the whole thing. Is that right?
That's right.
I'm enjoying the ride. What's that?
I think everything here's a castle. Oh, that looks cool. It's like way up in here. I wonder how they build that stuff. Like to line like all the equipment up and like materials that you need to build that stuff like that. I think that's pretty complicated.
I think you're right.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about our beer steins here in Germany. All the beer steins, they are originally made in our area. This here is a little piece of clay. what they take out of those clay coils. So they crack them up, do some water and special mineral to it, and then they come out on the machine on a long string like this one here. Piece is also very soft, so they're cutting into pieces depending on the size of the beer stein they want to make. Then they press this piece into a mold, and here you see a part of a mold. And this one is made from plaster of Paris, because this takes the moisture out of the wet clay, and you can use it about for 30 steins. Then you have to make a new mold from those master molds, because the picture they get soaked up and unclear. Then they press this piece into the whole mold, and it comes in the oven, and they bake it for 24 hours by 1250 degrees Celsius. So the next day, when they come out of the stove, they let it dry for a couple of hours, take the 3 seams off from the molds, and then they start the painting. First, they're always pre-painted a stein, like this one here, and this actually they're called a green stein. And then they go over to the real painting, and that always a couple people do it. So the first people, they fill in the bigger spaces, and then they go over into the detail painting, and it takes a couple of hours to paint a piece like this. Then they put this one the last time in the oven, and they bake it for 6 more hours by 650 degrees Celsius, so the color is real baked in, so you cannot wash it out or proper. And the last thing what they do is they put the pewter lid on. And here a lot of people always ask, why have a beer stein lid? This goes way back in the Middle Ages, when they had no way to keep the beer cold, because in the early days they didn't have any refrigerators or ice machines, so the only thing what they had was ceramic, what means stone in English, and the pewter. And pewter, it's a material what's keep cold tremendously. So when you ever drink out a pewter cup or a pewter stein, they're so cold you can hardly feel it on your lips. The second reason also was, in smaller areas, they're still using beer steins in guest houses or in the beer halls. So nobody can look to the stein when the stein was empty, so the people just let the lid open, and that showed the waitress this person needs another refill. And the third reason, they also say they keeps all the flies out. And that's as long as you keep your lid closed, your beer will stay fresh and cool for hours, if it lasts that long. Okay, now I also want to show you the best steins, because you also see so many different ones in here. And on those 5 shelves here, all the way down in the corner, we have very fine collector beer steins, and that means they're all limited edition. Limited edition means each stein have a special amount how many they make, and most of them have some stories behind, and they tell you on little booklets or on certificates more about the history. And 2 our most famous one from Germany I like to show you. This man here, they call King Gambrinus. Gambrinus, he get the name of a king, because in the contest he was the only one who can drink a whole barrel of beer all by himself. So that's why they make him the king of beer. The history goes back to 1100. This guy made the beer famous in Germany, and he also was a beer brewer. And inside is a little booklet that tells you the story. It's in German and English. The most important is, when you pick anyone up of the collector steins, they always tell you all about them, how many they made. Each time it's numbered, the company who's made those steins and where they come from. That's another thing that you have to watch out. When you buy original German beer steins, they always have those markings on it. Or on the regular steins, at least they should say made in Germany. I just tell you that because you also see a lot of steins now with no markings on it, and a very light material, and they're mostly imported now from other countries. And now, all the things what's happening in Germany, of the German reunification, when the 2 Germans came back together, they was making a special stein, and that was the Berlin stein. The Berlin stein there shows you on front the Brandenburger Gate. That was the most famous gate divided East and West Berlin. And on front and on the back there was the Berlin Wall, and it was 43 kilometers long. In between those 2 walls there was a dead zone or no man's land. And anyone who tried to get out of East Germany, they shoot him. So they shoot more than 1,000 people. Now the wall is all gone, everyone is happy. Just there's no more Berlin Wall left, so they still keep a little piece, and that's right on top of the stein. Inside is also a certificate that's testifying that real piece is out of Berlin Wall. And T-Volt, what's our finest manufacturer here in Germany. They make over 100 years already steins. This was the only company that did 4 issue. And this one here is the 4th issue. That's the last stein they do. It's also the only stein who still have the regular price on it for the 145 euro. The only reason why, because they didn't break the master mold yet. They still have about another 300 pieces to go. Just on the other 3 issue what they did before. On those ones, they all break already the master mold. They're not made anymore, and they have already collector prices. And just to give you a little idea how a collector stein go up in value. Like the first balloon stein, they will finish in September 1992. At 92 we saw the first issue on the beginning for 120 Deutschmarks, like 60 euro. Today we sell that stein for 1,150 euro. The second issue sells already for 850 euro, and the third issue is 450 euro. So it's a big difference on each issue. And whenever they break a master mold on a collector stein, then they increase in value every year. But this is only on the collector steins and not on the regular ones. And the difference to those 4 balloon stein is actually the side pictures. That what they're always changing it. And on the last one, they put the new Checkpoint Charlie on it. Checkpoint Charlie was the control point by Americans. And on the other side, it's the new Parliament building with the glass dome. And they're right here on the top shelf. They do actually come in 3 colors. The total was 5,000 steins they did. Just they mix them up in 3 different colors. So this is a piece of history of Germany what's never happened again. And that's why the balloon stein are still the most famous one.
Apply your thoughts in here. Let the camera do the thinking, dear. You look so hot on a video. A far cry from a New York beach show. Can you motherfucking relate? Can you motherfucking relate? Relate? Can you motherfucking relate? Twinkle, twinkle, little porno star. Do you know how lucky you are? Twinkle, twinkle, little porno star. Now show me how you got this far. You psycho out on ecstasy. Now you don't know who you wanna be. A sex machine every day. What does it take to get you all the way? Twinkle, twinkle, little porno star. Do you know how lucky you are? Twinkle, twinkle, little porno star. Now show me how you got this far, my little porno star. My little porno star. My little porno star. My little
Can you motherfucking relate?